I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with, so I'm not used to one night stands or anything like that. But we were not using protection, and I'm legally hard of hearing.
So, as you know, I rarely ever talk about internet drama, but I saw a video earlier so baffling that I just had to talk about it real quick. New Sykkuno victim comes forward saying he finished inside her without protection in evil Las Vegas hotel room. Now, that is a wild caption right there, but let me tell you the context. Basically, there's a streamer named Sykkuno who does gaming streams and whatnot, kind of known for being this innocent, nerdy, shy gamer who was recently exposed for cheating on his girlfriend. A very shitty thing to do, no doubt. I don't condone it. And I guess a ton of people were shocked due to his reputation. But what this has led to is a ton of women now coming out with their experiences with Sykkuno, essentially trying to expose him for sleeping around consensually, even while he was single. That's essentially it. These are the supposed victims coming out with testimonies against Sykkuno. Women who essentially hooked up with him and are now, I guess, disgruntled. They never got into a relationship. Maybe they regret it. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of these survivor testimony videos against him. One of these so-called victims. It is baffling, but without further ado, let's take a look.
I went to evil Las Vegas alone, but I wasn't alone. I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno, but I didn't know that he had other intentions. And I didn't ask him to share a room with me. I just simply asked him, "Hey, are you going to evil Las Vegas?" He said yes. And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like I know he lives in Las Vegas." And he said, "Oh, you're planning on coming. I actually have room if you just want to like room with me." And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, no, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel and all this. Like, I was insistent on being like, "Oh no, it's fine." And then he said, "No, no, no. Like, I have extra room. I already paid for it." And I even asked him, I'm like, "Are you rooming with a group or with friends?" And he said, "No, but there's 2 beds, so like you'll get your own bed." So I took his offer. Being a dumbass, I took his offer. We had plans to watch a movie together. We had plans to watch a horror movie together. Until Dawn. That movie's ass. Actually, I didn't even get to finish it, but that movie's ass. He started to get very angsty or something. I don't know how to explain it, but he pretty much tried to make a move on me, and I was fully trying to say like I'm just here to watch a movie. Like I'm just here to watch the movie. But me, being a dumbass and not being very very strong in like mentally, not physically. I mean maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but and maybe I don't know, benefit of the doubt, or because I still thought he was cute, or I don't know. He tried to make a move on me, resolute. I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes. I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating. Um, and it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen. So instead, I just gave him oral. Okay? I just. And then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana and I was just staring out the window. I was dissociating.
So far, I'm struggling to see any wrongdoing whatsoever. Keep in mind, this is a supposed victim of Sykkuno, but I don't really see how any of this makes you a victim. He invited her to a hotel room and she agreed. You know, I feel like if that's something you're really uncomfortable with, you could get your own. You know, nobody's forcing you to do it, even if there's 2 beds in his room. And then eventually they somehow ended up in the same bed and she gave him oral. Doesn't sound like he forced her or coerced her. It just sounds like she did it in the moment and regrets it now, which doesn't necessarily make someone a predator or her a victim. Regretting something doesn't make you a victim, and this is the kind of thing that takes away from actual victims of very serious crimes. But let's continue watching.
I think I was sort of just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened? I barely slept that night. Then in the morning, he didn't really want to talk about it. Um, and I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened. We were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. But he ends up hugging me, but then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. We end up having sex. And I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop. So I just let it happen. And while this was happening, while we were doing it, I always wear protection and I only sleep with people I'm in a relationship with. So I'm not used to one night stands or anything like that. But we were not using protection, and I'm legally hard of hearing, if you guys don't know already. But in the heat of the moment, he asked me if it was safe, and I didn't hear him, but I just said, mm hmm. And he finished inside of me, and then that was it. And then
Like, the more I watch this, the more I don't understand the point of this story. I mean, the point is to slander the streamer during this drama, because that's kind of what this is. It's almost like slander. Framing this streamer, Sykkuno, as some horrible predator when in reality, these were two consenting, fully grown adults capable of making their own decisions. At no point does it sound like she ever said no or ever showed any type of disagreement in the moment while sleeping with this streamer. So what exactly did he do wrong? Am I missing something here? It sounds like he even checked in on her as well, and I guess there was some kind of miscommunication. It sounds like it was an overall bad experience for her, and she regrets it, obviously, but again, that doesn't make somebody a predator and you a victim. Like, why did this video have to be made? I mean, it was for attention. I think it's extremely irresponsible to be blindly mislabeling, these very serious things.
um, we just laid there for a little bit, and then I brought it up. I asked him straight up, when was your last relationship? And do you sleep around often? Like, is this normal for you? Because I told him straight up, I do not date with people. I do not sleep with people I do not date. I do not sleep with people that I do not date. That is just a moral of mine. I find it very intimate with whoever. So, and I don't actually have. I've only slept with I've only ever slept with 3 people. Well, 4 now, but I've only been in 3 relationships. Like, do you sleep around a lot? And he said, no, I just. He was being around the bush the whole time that I was asking these questions. By the way, I'm like, then why did you sleep with me? And he said, oh, it just, giving me really half-ass answers. It's because I asked those 2 questions, like if he was in a relationship or like when his last relationship was, and if he sleeps around, and he told me no. And 3 years ago, we ran into each other a couple of more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't really want to talk about what happened. And then I struggled with this for a while, and then he would say things like, "Oh, I'm confused. I just wanted to know what you felt about that." And I said, "No, I want to know what you felt about this." That he made me he was sorry that he gave me that impression, and that he would want to reconcile. And me being the dumbass I am, I still wanted to be friends with him for some reason. So I did, and that's why we still play games, because I literally straight up asked him if he sleeps around, and he said no. So sorry, I thought I was only one.
So essentially, she hooked up with this streamer and regretted it after he wasn't interested in pursuing anything further. That's essentially the case here. It's also pretty weird how she's infantilizing herself this whole time during the video, as if you're not a grown ass adult responsible for your actions. Like, where is the accountability? I don't know why you'd stream yourself publicly admitting all of this. I mean, she's not a big streamer or anything either, so this is how everybody is finding out who she is. Basically known for how a streamer came inside her during a one night stand. And I said I don't understand why you'd stream this, but it's obviously for the clout and attention. Hop on the dogpiling of this streamer with all the other VTubers exposing him for sleeping around. I don't think their smooth brain, clout chasing brains understand that every time someone does this, it makes real victims less likely to be believed, and real abusers will have a far easier time to get away with abusing others. This is also another tweet exposing Sykkuno for DMing her this word, crab. and then saying there's a power imbalance somehow. Like, what the actual fuck is going on now? Grown ass adults, by the way. I fucked him, but I didn't get any clout, so now I'm coming for my clout. I feel like this is a tale as old as time as far as streamers and content creators are concerned. There are absolutely small creators out there that will sleep with another bigger creator to boost their careers. Just look at the whole Call Me Carson situation a few years back with who he was dating. These are some clips of Sykkuno, though, talking to girls. I guess this is his way of talking, you know, his whole persona. So let's check this out.
And besides, it just means that even though you're really popular, you still wanted to talk to me, right? So it makes me feel a little special in some kind of way. If you go without me, I'll miss you even more. Wait, what? You are extremely popular.
No, I'm still growing. I'm still growing, sir.
Huh? Oh,
still have much to
I
learn.
meant you're extremely popular with me. Because you're really cool.
Yeah, so this is the so-called predator in action who's getting exposed for essentially just sleeping around. I love how he has this whole innocent, shy, golden retriever gamer guy persona. Meanwhile, he's just fucking slaying left and right. I can't even hate on it. Cheating is shitty for sure, but as far as consensually hooking up with other adults, he hasn't done anything wrong. It really comes to show just how brain dead a lot of people are in the pursuit of clout and attention. Quickly labeling someone as a predator and victimizing themselves in order to get attention online. You know, publicly admitting online that some guy came inside you during a hookup for attention. It's like, do some of these people hear themselves? You know, there's zero accountability whatsoever, zero reflection. And this is a huge slap in the face to real victims. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some more juicy videos coming soon to the channel. And let me know what your thoughts are on this whole situation. I think situations like this are only going to make it harder for real victims to speak out. And at the same time, this is a huge insult to true victims. I really do feel like the word victim has just lost all meaning in 2026. Everybody's a victim now. It's trendy to be a victim because then you get a bunch of attention and an outpouring of support online, which is like crack to a lot of these people. In reality, a lot of these outspoken so-called victims are rarely ever actually victims. They just regret their stupid decisions. But let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. Peace.